Hey everyone, let's talk oil and gas. This is Andy, channel Finding Value. And I'm basically making this a daily update because oil is just crushing it. It's relentless, it keeps going higher. Will this continue? Will it go sideways? You know what? No one knows that. No one knows the future. But I can tell you this, the momentum is going up. And it's looking very good. The charts are breaking very long-term downtrend patterns. They're breaking 52-week highs. And the price of oil is breaking. It broke a resistance at about 75, 76, a big long-term resistance that goes back a decade. And you know what? We're probably going to fly higher here. So let's go through the technical analysis. I'll give you my financial opinion, and it's only just my opinion. Please don't use it as advice. And let's jump in. Let's find out. So here's oil and gas, natural gas. So here's West Texas Intermediate crude. We broke out of this little resistance line at 75-ish bucks. We came back and did our back test. We know on this channel, we know what to do on back tests. Does everyone know what to do on a back test? Did you know that this was going to back test? You should say yes, everyone. You should. We broke out, we came back, and we back tested. And what did you do? You should have been maybe buying the back test if you're a true oil bull. There was some good deals this morning. And I was also, I'll call it flabbergasted at how fast and violent the reversals were today. I mean, it was a downward move, and then a lot of these companies rocketed higher. I'll show you what that looks like in the charts. Natural gas, yeah, it's been going up. I don't know if I'd be a huge buyer of natural gas at the moment, but it's moving on up. It's in an uptrend. Now I'm going to go over some other stuff here. I threw this in. It says oil market needs $500 billion injection to ensure supply. This is Moody sees peril and massive shortfall in drilling budgets. This is by Josiana Joshua. Oil explorers need to raise drilling budgets by 54% to more than $500 billion to forestall a significant supply deficit in the next few years, according to Moody's Investors Service Incorporated. Crude and natural gas drillers, chastened by last year's unprecedented collapse in demand and prices, haven't responded to the recent market rebound, as the industry typically does by expanding the search for untapped fields. While international crude and U.S. gas have risen more than 50% and 120% this year, respectively, drilling outlays are only forecast to increase by 8% globally, Moody said. So they are not drilling. They are not putting the money back into growth. This is going to be crazy. And what they say in the bottom here is the industry will need to spend significantly more, especially if oil and gas demand keeps climbing beyond pre-pandemic levels through 2025. Now, someone asked about the Canadian oil companies and their valuations. So I grabbed this from 9 Point Partners because I saw it on Twitter, and it's a very good value metric. The metric is 2022 EV versus cash flow. So value versus cash flow. And this is at $70 West Texas Intermediate. We are above that. Natural gas strip, Forex strip, and $10 WCS differential. The target multiple is about a 4 to 6x of cash flow, the value. And we are trying to go between these two ranges. Here are the ticker symbols in the bottom. Basically, the entire sector is undervalued. The average is 3. This average will probably go into the target multiple. If you notice, we've got CPG, one that I recently purchased, is an undervalued company. We've got CR, which is our Crew Energy, undervalued. This is Cardinal, I think. We've got some ticker symbols that I do not know. Athabasca Oil's cheap. I own that one. BTE is cheap. Birch Cliff is still, it's more expensive, but it's cheap because we're below it. This is how many years of free cash flow at $70 strip natural gas price would it take for a company to buy back all of its outstanding shares and debt? Crew Energy, 4 years. That is very quick. We got Athabasca Oil, 4 years. CPG, 5 years. And then we've got some of these other ones like Suncor and these other ones. But what this is telling us is that we have incredible value here. They are undervalued in relationship to the target multiples that we usually trade by. And I still think that the majority of these companies, and you don't have to just go off of this, you go off of the charts as well, are still great value. So yes, they've moved a lot. All these companies have moved thousands and hundreds of percents off their bottoms. But guess what? We're still massively undervalued in relationship to the price of crude. So I'm going to continue to hold them. Now, SM Energy, this thing's been moving on up. We've got $30.31. It was up 6.7%. It is moving on up and looks fantastic. I'm going to continue to hold. CDEV is still moving up, looking good. We've got CPE, Callum Petroleum, nice strong update today, looking fantastic, finishing strong. We've got Northern Oil and Gas putting in a 9% update, real close to 52-week highs just a few days before it. We've got Crescent Point Energy, another one that I recently purchased, breaking on up, closing strong, looks fantastic. We got Reconnaissance Energy Africa. Here's the dead period where the buyers equal the sellers, right here. So we were coming on down, it's bouncing down, we bounced up, and then we hit the dead period. This is where I'm like, time to load, baby. And then we got our big update today. So let's see if the buying pressure can continue. What I'm going to show you here is a broken downtrend. What is that, guys? What is that? That's called a broken downtrend. And it's on good buying pressure. So let's hope we rocket higher here. And remember, it doesn't mean tomorrow will be a rocket higher. It means that the overall trend is changing and that we could see an uptrend here any second. Here's Tetra Technologies, looking good, good buying pressure. We've got Tellurian. Yeah, we got some selling, bearish engulfings here. We could head a little bit lower, but we've got the trend line. It's probably doing a little bit of a back test. That's what these things do. I'm gonna roll it through here. We got some support through here, just underneath it, and just hold on to these things. Tellurian is going to build a liquefied natural gas terminal. Natural gas is going short all throughout the world. This is when you want to be invested and stay invested. You don't want to be trading in and out. Don't be afraid of the price movements. Look at value, look at the world around you, and look at the liquefied natural gas price worldwide. Gran Tierra, it's looking all right. We've got a little bit of a pullback here, but just let it go. Helix Energy Solutions, one that I purchased recently. Remember, this is lagging behind. This is an energy service company, so just be patient. It's got a big trend line it's got to break. Be patient with all this. And this is RIG, another energy service company. It's looking good. Bullish engulfing. And then we got Contango Oil and Gas moving sideways. Big up days, small down days. Just let it go up. And then Crew Energy, another one that I've been holding and riding. We could see some downward pressure, maybe. Maybe not. We'll see what natural gas does. But this guy's looking good. Sandridge, I thought this was going to go lower, but man, the buyers keep stepping in and pushing it back up. So this is a very aggressive uptrend. Hold on to this, baby. Ride this bull higher. Don't let the bull buck you off. And then Comstock, looks like we could do a little bit of a pullback, but maybe not. I mean, natural gas prices have been volatile. Let's see where it takes us. I'm riding it higher. I'm not selling a thing. So oil looks good, man. Oil looks really good. Natural gas kind of moved up. It's going to pull oil up with it. I think we could see $100 maybe even this year, maybe. Early next year, probably, but 80, 90, I mean, it could be anything this year, guys. This is really strong. We're coming into the winter season. If demand remains robust, it's going to keep going higher. So I'm holding on to this. I'm not letting this bull buck me off. I'm holding the reins. I'm good to go. So I've got big positions in all this. They've gotten much bigger since the bottom. I'm letting them ride. I'm up in some of the positions. It's been 20 baggers for SM Energy for me. CDEV and some of these other ones, they're 10 baggers. I mean, they're hitting good, and I'm going to let them ride. Let them ride. Let them take me higher. The ones that I've purchased recently is CPG, NOG, RECAF. I loaded into those. Those are my recent picks, if you want to know. I have not purchased new stuff in SM. CDEV I bought at $4 again. I loaded up in CDEV at $4. I loaded up way before that as well. And those are the ones I've been riding. I have CPE as well, and MCF and all these other ones. So I'm riding them. But oil, it's a good sector. Some of these companies are very leveraged, and I'm going to ride them until the valuations get expensive. And I'll let everybody know when that is. We still have, I think, a very long way in front of us. We just broke very long downtrend lines, which means we have a long way to go higher. A long way. Probably double or triple from where we are at today. Crazy? Yes. Am I crazy? Yes. Am I probably going to be right? Yes. That's my guess. Fingers crossed. All right, so subscribe to the channel. Ride this commodity bull market up with me and everyone else on the channel. We like to share picks in the comments section. Throw it in the comments section what you guys want to talk about. And most of the time I'll answer you either with a video or with comments. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.